What is up, y'all? This is Rainbow Fire, the unicorn knows the last unicorn. I want to give a shout out to this guy right here, this YouTuber. He gave me this idea to make a video about what would happen if everyone woke up in their fursonas. Alright? But yeah, this is for him. This is for you, man. But yeah, he told me to make a video on this, and I'm going to do it right now. So, honestly, you're just going to see a bunch of grass because I really don't want to, Anyway, so this YouTuber wanted me to make a video talking about this. What would people do if they turn into their personas? Uh, Honestly, there's a lot I got to explain because there's a lot of species in the furry fandom, dragons, magical creatures, and all that kind of stuff. Now, me as my persona is a unicorn, really all white fur, long rainbow mane with golden horn and cleft hooves, and that's my persona. I'm as a anthro unicorn. Um, Honestly, it would be crazy because people waking up as their personas and realizing that they're another creature or whatever. Like, here's the one thing I know. I didn't write a script to this, so whatever I say goes in the video, okay? Here's the funny thing is, too. When you wake up in your persona, like if you just get out of bed, you wake up in your persona, and you have all this fur on you, you're like, okay, what do I do? And, well, my persona is a unicorn, so most likely what will happen, I have a freaking gold horn coming out my forehead, and of course my rainbow mane will be really long and flowing from my face. Most like I've had bad hair days in the morning, and don't get me started about brushing long hair. Yeah, if your persona has long hair or fur, you're gonna be brushing that crap all dang day. And honestly, I brush my hair every morning, but it's like you imagine waking up and then and if people don't know that you're part of this fandom and you're in your persona, you have to explain to them what just happened because and if it's on like if this actually broke up in the whole wide world, I can imagine a lot of people in the I can imagine a lot of people in the furry community like going crazy over this and all that. But here's the thing I want to know. If you're in your persona, it'll be really crazy because number one, being in the furry community, people, the funny thing is too, that if people were in their personas, you know who's part of the furry fandom. Basically, on the street, you just see all these anthro animals coming out of their houses going, what the heck? I'm a freaking anthro wolf or anthro big cat or a lion or, you know? And don't get me started on creatures that fly. So there might be a dragon that lives down the street from you. You know what I mean? And I feel bad for people that are protogens. Protogens are probably gonna be the one that's gonna be really annoying because protogens, you gotta be plugged up 24/7 to a computer, and your eyes are literally computer screens. I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, the protogens are really popular in the furry community, but it's just crazy, man. But me being like a magical equine, because my persona is a unicorn, most likely I have powers. I could like hover stuff. You betcha. If I was in my persona, the first thing I would do, go out back and just start chucking stuff in the air and then just zapping it and blowing stuff, just making stuff hover and zapping it, make it see if it will explode, you know what I mean? Like that's basically my fursona has. He has these, because unicorns are known for their healing powers and for their magic. So most likely my fursona has powers. So, and that's another thing too. If someone like some big dragon dude in their fursona, I mean they're in their scaly fursona starts blowing fire, and you know the whole world's gonna go chaos. And that's not. And the thing is too, if it's like a whole, if it's forever that people turn into personas, it would be chaos because number one, food and all of this, food and all that, and like other animals be eating different things. Now my fursona, he eats like, I never gave him a backstory, but most likely if I was a unicorn, most likely I'll be eating apples and strawberries. God knows, forget strawberries. I love strawberries. But most equines, they eat grass and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what unicorns will eat. Most likely I'll probably be eating grass and horse food. I mean, don't get me started on the medical stuff, because veterinarians, I feel bad for veterinarians, especially if they're part of the furry fandom and then they turn to their fursona and now they got to take care of themselves as animal doctors, you know what I mean? And that's the other thing too. People that are, and don't get me started, if you are a fursona that lives in the water, you're still in bed. Next thing you know, you need water, so you have to run, you have to shove your head in a bathtub just to keep yourself alive. I feel bad for those people that have shark fursonas that walk on two legs. I mean, I've seen them on furry art play pieces, but you know, yeah, don't get me started on first, like I eat water fursonas. But yeah, another thing is people that are magical creatures like me, like my first son is a unicorn. People will be shocked to see dragons flying in the air, and me as a anthro unicorn riding a dang motorcycle down the street. Can you imagine? Oh, mommy, look! It's a equine unicorn riding a motorcycle. A chopper. That'd be freaking hilarious. I'm sorry. That would be hilarious. Seeing a magical equine just going brrr, down the street, you know what I mean? But it's like, and like, don't get me started on that. There's no human beings like airport, like pilots and people that are working. Imagine they're at their night jobs, and next thing you know, they turn into their fursonas that night. And you got pilots, firefighters, medical people, people that work in midnight stores, and all this stuff. They just turn into these anthro animals overnight. Can you imagine a pilot flying an airplane, and next thing you know, he goes poof into a wolf fursona, and literally the pilot's holding his claws are like holding onto the yoke. Attention passengers, it turns out a lot of people are in their personas. I'm actually a wolf. And the pilot flying the airplane. Could you imagine the crap? Like even, can you imagine you putting out a fire in the middle of the night, and next thing you know, boom, you turn into a lion fursona, and you're putting out fires, your fur will almost get burned. I mean, it would be freaking chaos. It's like, I expect that to happen. Like, literally, normal human beings have normal human jobs. Like, we'll be doing that. Like people that are doing construction. Can you imagine a tiger, like, literally, they're working on construction late at night, and next thing you know, this tiger is driving a dang bulldozer. I mean, oh my God. I mean, it's crazy to think. People just think, oh yeah, all furries don't have jobs and all this kind of stuff. Yes, they do. There's a lot of people that they're just like keep that inner furry to themselves. You know what I mean? But yeah, people turning in their fursonas will be chaos because you don't know who's part of this fandom. I had to get a drink for my Stanley. Anyway, but yeah, it's just like that. Like I said, it's just people that are into they're in their personas. They have to like adapt. You know what I mean? And it would be chaos because I can imagine like people that are trying to hide being in this community or the fandom, they couldn't because they're in their persona. Now I can imagine waking up, being in my unicorn persona, and being scared to death because you have to explain to your family, say, hey, look, you may want to take a look at this. And you just give them an art drawing of your persona, and then you crack the door and go, hi, see that drawing? That's me. I'm an anthro unicorn. Uh-huh. Of course their mouth is going to drop. Of course it's going to be like, are you an equine unicorn? An anthro unicorn? Yeah. Like the last unicorn. Yeah. Because honestly, how can you explain that too? I mean, honestly, you just wake up into your tiger persona, your wolf persona, your dog persona, or how give it a big cat persona, or a dragon. Can you imagine you just come in your room and next thing you know, you're a big giant anthro dragon with big wings? How you gonna explain that? But it's like, you know, I've actually been wanting to make this video because honestly, this one dude gave me the idea and I just want to talk about it, you know? And it's just crazy to think like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you're in your persona and you, it's crazy. But yeah. But yeah, the whole world will go chaos. Like, can you imagine trying to use technology in your persona? Like, I don't know, because my persona has cleft hoof hands. Now, my persona has gold hooves. He has like cleft hooves, like a goat's. Most unicorns have gold hooves, like cleft. Well, my persona, his hands are like cleft hands. I don't know how the heck I would use a phone. You can't just use a touchscreen, so you'll be scratching the heck out of your. Now, if you got claws like a tiger or a wolf, yeah, you'll be scratching your phone screen like crazy. Now, if you got a phone case like me or like the glass protector thing, you won't have to worry about that. But your hoof hands, they wouldn't work on your phone. So most likely you'll be talking to you know what, trying to open up your phone and crap. And then don't get me starting on like driving a vehicle. Now, if your persona is short, good luck driving your vehicle. But if your persona is tall as because mine's an equine unicorn, I'm going to have a problem because number one, I got a horn sticking out my forehead. So most likely I wouldn't fit. I like my car will have to be a convertible. So most likely you literally couldn't fit in your vehicle because your dang unicorn horn will be hitting the dang ceiling, and God forbid it's going to scrape the top of your interior. So most likely you have to drive a convertible, or God forbid a tea bucket from the 1920s. You know what I mean? But it's like, and especially if you're driving a manual vehicle with a clutch, your hoof is going to constantly slip on that clutch and try to shift gears. Most likely be driving automatics all the time, you know what I mean? Now, if you're driving a motorcycle, yeah, it'd probably be easier because, well, unicorns have a horn, so you're probably not going to wear a helmet. You'll probably get a ticket for that. Except there's some dog or some wolf police, unless there's some anthro German Shepherd that's a cop turns into a German Shepherd anthro going, woo! Why do I have a helmet? Because I'm a unicorn with a horn sticking out my forehead? Well, put a helmet on. How? They cut a hole through it and put a helmet on. Whatever, you know what I mean? It'll just be total chaos. How can you survive in the real world being in your persona? And that's all I don't get. But yeah, it's just kind of funny to think that we would be like going crazy, just thinking, oh my God, if you were in your fursona, you couldn't, how you work on things, you know what I mean? But yeah, there's many more I could talk about this, but I just want to go over the little details about this video. But honestly, I could make another video talking about this, but it would be really, really crazy to be in your fursonas. The whole world would go crazy. You couldn't use your day-to-day life technology like your phone, your TV, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it'd be really hard. Good luck playing video games and good luck playing VR because your eyeballs are not that straight. Because especially if you're an equine, you're in an equine fursona, you can't play VR. Yeah, most technology will have to evolve with people in their fursona. Like, I can imagine certain vehicles be built for certain things. It'd be like Zootopia. You know what I mean? You might as well just live in Zootopia and be your fursona. It was a modern Zootopia, but in our world. But yeah, I think we should all just go live in Zootopia and be our fursonas. But yeah, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. But this is a fun video. I've been wanting to make this video. Thanks to that YouTuber. Shout out to this YouTuber for this video right here. If I can get a focus for this video. But yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a good one. That's it. And peace out. And yeah, let's just all go live in Zootopia. But yeah, that's what he said at the end of the video. But yeah, all right, peace.